Most studies have concluded that the grit and persistence which characterize top performance, stem from intrinsic factors, right? The grit, the persistence, comes from something within, right? It comes from something within, like I've explained so far, because it's got to be intentional, and it's got to be proactive. It's a decision that's within. Every top performer has an internal locus of control, right? People that have an external locus of control and not cannot perform at any top level, right? A top performer has an internal locus of control, has what we call a growth mentality. It believes and knows that that he or she makes a difference. It's not a circumstance. It's not we didn't lose the match because it rained. We lost the match because the other team was better than us, right? We lost the match because we did not prepare. We did not take some things into consideration, not because it rained, right? So a top performer has an internal locus of control, has a growth mentality, not a fixed mentality, right? That's important. So pure passion and love are what driven what's best to break records. There's got to be a love, there's got to be a passion. And I'm sure you can see it in my voice, you can see it in my personality, you can see it in my gesticulation that I love what I do and I'm passionate about it. I'm a normally passionate person, and I do what I love. I love what I do, right? I do what I love. I love what I do. And at this age and this point in time in my life, I really don't have to do anything. So I choose to do the things I love. And if I have to do it, I love it. I put my best into it. That's why I perform at such a high level, right? So Rasmus Ankerson's conclusion from all the study of the different gold mines he visited, is that uh the intrinsic factors, the passion, the love, it says they are far from adequate when it comes to explaining the hunger that drives top performance. Why? So to perform at the top level, you need that intrinsic factor, love, passion. But he's saying there's something more, than just those, and what he found out was that they had a goal, they had something they were shooting for, and we've said that also. Yes, you need something internal, the love, the passion, but you also need to have a reward that you're shooting for. The light at the end of a tunnel, the reward, the gold, the harvest, they are seeking for, at the end of a tunnel. It's good to, when you love something, you put in your best, but there's something else that kind of accentuates that performance. If there is, you can see the reward, the reason why you're doing it. Again, we'll say there's no altruism, right? Everybody does something for something. Nobody does something for nothing. Only mad people, crazy people, people that are out of their mind do something for nothing, right? It's not the way God created us. It's not the way God is himself. God does everything for something, right? And he created us to be the same, right? So intrinsic factors play a far greater role than we are generally willing to admit. No matter how much we like to hear it, pure love of sport is simply not enough to carry through to achieve world-class performance. Just loving the sport or loving something might not be enough, to carry to top performance. You need to know the reason why you're doing it. So Rasmus Ankerson says world-class performance hunger for much more than the self-contained fascination of their sport, game, or art. Maybe it's important to add here for me also. One, I did not go into farming because of farming. I didn't go into farming because I love farming. I went into farming to help someone, right? Ever since I've learned farming, I enjoy what I do, but also, but I put it more into it again, like I said, because the reason we do it is to change lives, to change our own lives, to change the lives of everyone that comes to work for us, to change the lives of our host community, and to change the lives of a greater community beyond our host community. and we have plans for all of those, as we get ourselves sorted out, right? That's why I put my 24/7 into that, right? So it's more than just a love for farming, even though I'm getting to love farming itself, but it goes beyond that, right? That's why I made to put out what I put into it. Toby Tansa says that the law of prize money is powerful. It is. Again, that's the reason why I say altruism is a scam. Everybody does something for something. You know, first you must decide to persevere, and then passion will grow. If you persevere at something, if you do something long enough, you'll get to love it. Like I said, I didn't go into farming because I know about farming, but we've done it such long enough. We're in our fifth year. I love it. I'm becoming a master at it. I'm getting to learn the intricacies around it. And the more I learn, the more I get excited about it. Because I'm an engineer, right? I love designing. I love designing, constructing, and seeing that which I've imagined come to pass, right? I'm excited because the whole of our proposed poultry, and our poultry is 30,000 bed capacity poultry. I designed it. It's on 2.5 acres, right? I designed the whole poultry is my design in 2.5 acres. And I love the fact that I can imagine it, get the concept, design it, construct it, and see it come up. That gets me excited. That's my reward. Yeah, I love the money, but beyond the money, I love to construct things and see things that I've imagined, see it in true life. Excites me, is who I am, right? Our greenhouse, pretty much I designed it, right? I designed our greenhouse. We put it up, it's working. I love that, right? Uh, it excites me. That's my own reward. That's why I do what I do, right? So you learn to love what you do. If you learn to love what you do what you love. If you do something long enough, put your put your best into it. The passion will come up, right?